Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the East Kentucky Expo Center. I'm Keith Casebolt, president of East Kentucky Broadcasting, and what a privilege it is to be here with you this morning for this historic press conference. I think it is quite fitting that we're in this wonderful facility that was brought to Pikeville, thanks to our Governor Paul Patton, for our entire region, not just our region, but West Virginia, Virginia, all of our people to come together and enjoy this facility and the entertainment that it's brought to us. I think the announcement that you're going to hear today is going to talk about bringing our region together again. Years ago, before our roads, traveling to other towns, other regions, it was just almost an impossibility. Doing business with each other was almost an impossibility. So our highways, our expo center, our medical center, our college, there's so many things that are going on just locally here, but not just here, throughout our region. Fortunately, we've had some people behind the scenes that's been working with our chambers of commerce, talking about how we can better that, how we can grow, how we can solve our own problems. And I think they've come up with a wonderful idea. So instead of me continuing to talk, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, who's going to make a pretty historic announcement this morning. If you would, please welcome to the podium Brad Hall, who is the president and CEO of the Pike County Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, sir, for your involvement and all the things that we do in this region. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see a great crowd here with us this morning. Almost every seat is full. This is a historic day. I'd like to thank the members of the press that are here with us this morning. I'd like to thank our legislators and elected officials. I see some of our city officials and other officials here with us. We appreciate that. I'd like to have a special thanks for our chamber board members, for our chamber members, and for our community and friends and regional advisors that have played a part in what we're getting ready to do today. So thank you very much for being here. As Keith said, my name is Brad Hall. I'm the president and CEO of the Pike County Chamber of Commerce. I assumed this role about a little over 4 years ago, and I'm very proud to be a part of this organization and working with some of these individuals you see here with us today, members throughout the county and the region. I'm very blessed. I was born and raised here, so I'm very proud to be a part of this organization. Most people ask me, Brad, what is a Chamber of Commerce? And I get that all the time. They ask me, how am I doing with the city? You know, they think it's part of the city. But I want to just take 1 second to tell you what the Chamber of Commerce is. The Chamber of Commerce, simply put, is a collaboration between business members and community members working together to be good at putting together progressive ideas and concepts for the growth of our communities. The Chamber also does a lot more than that. In most cases, they have a very positive influence on our community. Our chambers are not politically run. There's no elected officials in our chambers, and our chambers are not funded through government. Our chambers are funded through the support of our members and our businesses so that they are being a part of growing our community. Our chamber works diligently to have a positive influence on our community, to help us grow the community, to keep jobs here, to bring in new businesses, to develop relationships among our business owners that are here today and our community leaders. I was raised in a small town called Weeksbury, Kentucky, near Wheelwright. I love that area. I visit there often. My mother and father still live there. At one time, Wheelwright was a very prominent community. We had the first Olympic-sized swimming pool in eastern Kentucky, or actually in all of Kentucky, I believe. We had a golf course, a bowling alley, all these wonderful things. But we had a strong coal industry there, which is what built that community. And after the coal was gone, the jobs were gone. And when the jobs were gone, the people started to leave. I was very saddened when this happened. And as a young child, I wanted new business. What can we do to save our community? How can I save my home? This experience as a teenager influenced me to decide to major in business, to go on to get my MBA, and after working some time in Pike County, I was asked to serve on the board of directors for the Pike County Chamber of Commerce. I was honored to serve 5 years as board of director, and then when our great director, Kitty White Baird, decided to retire, I applied for the job as director, and I was hired. Through the work of many volunteers, member businesses, our chamber staff, Debbie Clevenger, Pam Mullins, Jessica Sargent, Jared Arnett, Laura Ford Hall, and myself, the chamber has grown to over 400 member businesses across the region. Through the programs we've added and the work our chamber and our board of directors have done, we felt that our members, our staff, all the things that we've done had something to offer to our neighboring communities and counties. We wanted to come together to diversify the economy, to advocate for businesses both small and large, and most importantly, to provide a vision for the future of our counties. So with that said, today on May 4th, 2011, we now present to you our new regional Chamber of Commerce, the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. Our chamber officials have met with business members and other city and county officials across the region for this initiative. We are working to come together as business leaders to form this new Southeast Kentucky Chamber. The reasoning for the establishment of the Southeast Kentucky Chamber is to break down the lines of the county lines that we see and are here for the progression of the region, to establish an economic development cooperative for growth of our region, to establish a coalition or affiliation with some of the existing chambers in place. We want to make our region stronger for better partnerships and better collaboration, to come together for political advocacy for our region. Rather than being divided by these imaginary county lines, we can come together as a population of 216,000 people to work with our legislators and other elected officials to accomplish many goals. One of the main goals of our Chamber of Commerce is to represent the business community. We do this in governmental and economic affairs. We serve as a liaison between our business people and our elected officials. This way we can work together to expand roadways, bring in factories and new industries, and attract new restaurants or merchants for Eastern Kentucky. The more we work in unity as an Eastern Kentucky community, the more we can get accomplished. Rather than each county having a limited number of representatives or senators that we can work with as a chamber, with the Southeast Chamber Organization, we can advocate for business in Eastern Kentucky among 7 state representatives and 4 state senators. Some counties in our region have existing chambers, and others do not. Some counties chose to fully participate in the Southeast Kentucky Chamber, while others wish to participate in a capacity of a coalition or a partnership of some kind. In whatever different way the counties choose to come together, we are hoping to work together as this new chamber to represent 216,000 people across 8 counties in our region. Those counties include Lawrence, Magoffin, Martin, Pike, who will wholly become part of the Southeast Kentucky Chamber, as well as Letcher and Knott, who currently have volunteer-based chambers and are looking forward to a relationship with our regional chamber. The Paintsville-Johnson County Chamber will begin the planning stages of establishing an affiliation or a coalition with this regional effort. And although many Floyd County Chamber businesses are already a part of our organization, the Floyd County Chamber at this time has decided to not affiliate with the regional chamber. We understand their desires from the Floyd County Chamber of Commerce to retain their history and their good work, but we look forward to working with them and creating a relationship for this regional effort in the future. Though the Pike County Chamber and its officers and employees have worked to form the Southeast Kentucky Chamber, I know it is very important to hold on to our past and to our history. The Pike County Chamber and their initiatives were created by businessmen in 1957. My wife's grandfather, who's here, Forrest Beeler, my wife's grandfather, was one of the first men involved in that organization. The founding officers worked together to create this organization, and we want to honor that history. We believe that Laura's grandfather will be proud of what we're doing today. For those counties who already have a chamber, we understand because of that the history that we need to hold on to and look back to, but we need to look forward. The building which now houses the Chamber of Commerce in downtown Pikeville in 1957 was a train station. In that year, 40 men had a vision. They had a vision to create a chamber of commerce. I can envision my wife's grandfather sitting around a boardroom with some great, great visionaries. Henry Stratton, Charles Crispin, Walter P. Walters, S.F. Dahlhair, and the great Dr. Hambley. They're having a meeting much like we're doing today, thinking about the future. What can we accomplish? I hope they're looking down on us today and being proud of what we've done, what the chamber is doing, what our community is doing for 54 years. Although the Pike County Chamber was the driving force behind creating the Southeast Kentucky Chamber, the collaboration between counties will be key to the success of this regional chamber. We have lots of regional advisors that are here with us today that have been a part of this, lots of businesses helping us plan this. The work that we will do will have nothing to do with where the office is located. I commend our board of directors and our regional advisors for being the visionaries of today. These are simply a group of men and women who have an idea to join forces with many businesses across the region to make sure that Eastern Kentucky is a better place for all who reside here. For our new regional chamber, an advisory committee is being created with representatives from every county. Local committees are being established in every community to provide guidance and feedback to the regional chamber for the specific needs of their unique communities. To answer the questions for the current members of the Pike County Chamber of Commerce, any business that is now a member of the Pike County Chamber of Commerce will automatically be rolled into the new Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. Any other business in the 8-county Southeast Kentucky region, whether small, medium, or large, that's interested in becoming a member should contact us or visit us on our new website at sekchamber.com. At this time, I'd like to recognize our first charter chamber members. You see some signs on the end of the stage here that have been revealed. Those are our charter members that have decided to invest and help us grow and begin this regional chamber. Our chairman's circle includes Appalachian Wireless, Citizens National Bank, Fairway Media, and Merrill Lynch. Our founders club includes Busy Bee, Pamela C. Howard PT, Shred All Documents, and Wells Fargo. These are simply the beginning of the investors of our new business organization. You too can have an opportunity to be investors in this organization through this charter membership club and be in the historic records of helping us get off the ground this new regional initiative. I'd also like to recognize, I see Randy Walters in the crowd. They're the official transportation sponsor of the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. And you'll see a beautiful vehicle down on the front area when you exit today. Thank you, Randy. The announcement today has come through a lot of hard work by a lot of dedicated people, volunteering their time, providing their vision and their thoughts. We've heard a lot of people say, this is impossible. Good luck making this happen. How can it work? Well, there are a lot of questions, but when things seem impossible, I always think to the Pikeville Cut-Through Project. The vision to move a mountain by Dr. Hambley. How many people thought that dream would never come to reality? And it did. And it has forever changed the future of the city of Pikeville. I would not be standing in this building today if that project had not happened. Where would we put a facility like this? The vision became a reality through a lot of determined people to make something happen. The Southeast Kentucky Chamber has a vision. We have a dream of a unified Eastern Kentucky. The road will be hard, but the results of the hard work will forever change Eastern Kentucky. We must leave a legacy for our children and our grandchildren. We must ensure that Pikeville, Louisa, Paintsville, Salyersville, Prestonsburg, Hyman, and all of our other beautiful cities remain strong and thriving for future generations. For those listening today, I encourage you to become part of this regional effort. Become a member of the Southeast Kentucky Chamber by getting involved, volunteering, providing your vision for the future of Eastern Kentucky. And most of all, help us prepare this region for a strong and bright future. Thank you, May God bless Eastern Kentucky, and may God bless America.
You know, that's what makes you really feel good about the future when you hear a young man who is passionate about what he's doing and growing our region. You know that the future is in good hands. What a historic announcement. You know, I'd like to say a special thank you to WYMT, my second family, that I've had the privilege of being affiliated with for over 21 years. When WYMT came on the air, it brought us together as a region. We knew what was going on in Harlan, what was happening in London, what was happening in Martin County. The isolation that we had that the roads didn't fix because we didn't quite have them yet, the television opened that up. And that's been a very important part of our region growing, as the roads, as education, and everything else that's going on. When I listened to Brad talk about the Southeast region, the first thing that hit me on occasions when WYMT went to Hazard, everybody from every other county said, I wished it had been ours. When the MacArts opened up in Prestonsburg, people in Pikeville said, I wished we had gotten that. When the expo came to Pikeville, people in Johnson County said, I wish it had been located here. It seems to me with this new alliance of the Southeastern Chamber of Commerce, now wherever a business comes into our region, we can all finally come together and say, I'm glad it's ours, wherever it's located. For another perspective, I'd like for you to please welcome up the first Vice President of Merrill Lynch, who is the current Chairman of the Board of the Pike County Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Blackburn.
Good morning, and thank you for attending the future of the Pike County Chamber of Commerce. Pike County has always been known for bold initiatives, like the cut-through that Brad mentioned, envisioned by Mr. Hambley, and this lovely East Kentucky Exposition Center that we stand in here today, just to name a couple. Today is yet another bold initiative that Mr. Brett Hall, CEO of the Pike County Chamber of Commerce, now the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, has so passionately and eloquently explained. I'm honored to be the chairman during the year that this undertaking has happened. And in a few months, Tracy Sick will be our new chairman to lead us even further. I thought I would use a couple of analogies to help explain what Brad has already talked about and Mr. Casebolt, but I thought I'd use a few analogies just to try to shed some light on it and bring it down to maybe my level. I'm sure in this room there's a lot of Bengals fans. Do we have any Bengals fans? And a few Steelers fans and a few Browns fans. But you know, there's only one football team that's ever been undefeated. The 1972 Miami Dolphins. I was 7 years old, and I was a big Dolphin fan. And at the time, being 7, I thought it was all about Larry Csonka, number 39, the big fullback running back for the Dolphins. I thought that he was the perfect season. I thought he was the reason Miami was 17-0. But when the news hit the TV stations and the newspapers, it did not say the perfect season of Larry Csonka. In my game room at home, none of my Dolphins memorabilia says the perfect season of Larry Csonka. It simply says the 1972 undefeated season of the Miami Dolphins. It was a team effort, not one person. You know, the railroad industry way back was in business, and I believe personally they forgot what business they were in. They thought they were in the railroad business, carrying goods and services across this great country. I believe along the way they forgot that they really weren't in the railroad business. They were in the transportation industry. So cars and planes should have been a natural progression for the railroad industry. But they missed it because they forgot what industry they were truly in, the transportation industry. But I'm sure that Henry Ford was very glad that they forgot what business they were in. I think of another one. I think of the big screen industry, the big movie theaters that many of you drove to and maybe fogged up a window or two and watched the big screen in your cars. The movie industry forgot what industry they were in. They really weren't in the movie industry. They were in the entertainment industry. A natural progression for them should have been televisions, small screens, in every home in America. But they missed it. They forgot what industry they were in. But I'm sure that Zenith and RCA, Sony, and all the others are very glad that they forgot what industry they were in. I hope these few analogies help to explain why we would expand our chamber to become the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, representing more people, especially in those counties that currently don't have a Chamber of Commerce, and to work with those counties that do have chambers. We have not forgotten what business we are in, and that is to strengthen our area businesses, to help bring new business to our area, thus helping to provide jobs and ultimately an overall better quality of life for our entire region. Each of our local counties have the opportunity to work together as a team, not individually, but as a team, not forgetting what business we are all really involved in. There is powers in numbers. Our slogan, the power to be heard. The Bible says that a threefold cord is not quickly broken. And that's very powerful if you think of it. A threefold cord is not seldom broken. Also in the Word of God, there was a group of people that planned to build a building or tower that would reach into heaven. And God looked down and God Himself said, nothing will be restrained from them. Nothing will be restrained from them because they had unity, because they had numbers, because they were together. We truly believe that if we all work together for a common goal and unite, we can expand our current businesses of Southeast Kentucky, bring in new business to Southeast Kentucky, and provide jobs and a better future for our children and a better quality of life for all of us. Thank you for your time today, and may God bless you, and may God bless the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, JR. You know, we have a little slogan up at East Kentucky Broadcasting that we use: nothing happens unless we go out and make it happen. And I think today that's what we're seeing from these people behind the scenes of the Chamber of Commerce. And the next guy I'm going to introduce probably believes that more than anybody. He is the marketing director of Appalachian Wireless. He is currently the secretary for the Pike County Chamber of Commerce, and he is the former two-term chairman of the Pike County Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium Danny Van Hoos.
Well, I'm honored to be here today, and Brad asked if we could give a business perspective from this standpoint of this new chamber. Regardless of what industry you're in, it takes all of us working together for all of us to be successful. It's just that simple. If the car industry is not going to be successful if people don't have money to buy cars. And the way that you end up with that is you have to have jobs. And our economy far too long has been cyclical regarding the natural resources. We've had our ups and we've had our downs, and most recently we've experienced our downs. And at this point, it's time to work together collectively, regardless, and put aside these county lines. I like how Brad so passionately explained. We'll blur these county lines, and we'll all become Eastern Kentuckians and be proud of it. And we'll all work for the betterment of the entire region that way. Not to criticize, not to talk about anything, but obviously the way that we had been working toward these things had not been as successful because we had not been able since 1957 here in Pike County to diversify this economy away from natural resources. And while we support it, and we certainly will always be a part of, it will always be a part of our natural resources, we need to bring some other things in to further enhance what it does bring to the table. So I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I do want to make mention that 888 Real Estate is part of the Founders Club. I think that was inadvertently omitted, and I did want to give them some props as well to be Founders members, and encourage you, if your business is out there and you want to be a part of either of these as a charter member of this new regional effort, we'd encourage you to do that, because it's a bright day. It's going to be a fantastic future. I can assure you that this group and this entire membership is working hard behind the scenes to make sure that the resources are where they need to be, and to enable us to take on this great effort. And if you look at what we've been able to accomplish in one county and support the businesses of Pike County, expanding that to 8 counties is quite an undertaking, and we're ready for it. So thank you.
Thank you, Danny. We just got a moment before we close. I do want to let you know that Mitch McConnell's office was contacted. Donna McClure was going to be with us, unfortunately couldn't. Also, Hal Rogers' office contacted, couldn't be here. Both gave their support to this idea overwhelmingly, as that it is going to help our region. One thing I do want to point out in closing, a couple of years ago when the deep recession hit, in talking with Brad and Danny actually came up with this idea. We were talking about what could we do as our own stimulus plan. They got together, they got in this county, looked around, asked how many jobs were available. We found out we had almost 2,000 jobs that we could fill. We had a job fair right here in this East Kentucky Expo. We drew people as far away from Florida who found out about it and said, what a great place to live. I want to buy a home, I want to move up and get a job. Instead of sitting back and saying, we've got a deficit, and I hate to say this with the country, but we're 1.2 trillion in debt, and we're talking about cutting. Here we have some people that are saying, let's go out and find what resources we have, let's find what jobs we can fill, and let's do our own stimulus plan. Let's put people to work. Let's get the tax base up. Let's get people buying homes. And we'll improve our own region on our own. Sure enough, we had a record crowd of a couple of thousand people, and Congressman Rogers was here. Now what I look forward to with this United Chamber of Commerce in Southeast Kentucky, well, how many jobs are we going to have? When we have a job fair, where are we going to draw people from? How many states? How are we going to grow the region? What's going to happen to the population and to the tax base? I think it's a very exciting time. I hope you embrace it. Thank you so much, WYMT, East Kentucky Broadcasting, the paper, WPRG. Thank you for tuning in. From the East Kentucky Expo Center, I'm Keith Casebolt. Good morning.